Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Saturday, everybody. Oh, God. Okay. Well, confession time. Nobody's on yet. So, this is a real safe time to confess. I fell asleep here at the desk waiting for the challenge to start. And I had my head like this on my desk. So, anyway, I'm up now. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to day 6 of our challenge. Let me see. Yes, we're at the top of the hour. It is 8 o'clock here in Eastern Standard Time. We'll just give some people a minute here maybe to get on. So we are, day 6 of our challenge. Do it for a day. And this is a 30-day challenge, so we've still got a few days to go. But I am thoroughly enjoying this myself, and I think it's getting better and better every day. Hey, good morning, Nancy. I was just confessing you weren't on yet. We've been here since 5. I fell asleep. I had my hair done a little bit better, but I fell asleep leaning like this on the desk. So anyway, here it is. Yes. So day 6. Before we jump into that day, let me just go over some housekeeping, just like we have been. The lives, of course, as you know, are just here on Facebook, on our ministry page. The best place to catch the replays is the website, because, like I said, Facebook, welcome to social media. It does what it wants to do because it can. And so Facebook, they're going to come down, and then also it's not nice and lined up because there's other posts and whatever. So the best place is on our website, which, if my husband is on here, I will get him to put the website on there. I don't see him yet. Maybe he is. Anyway, that's the best place to catch the replay. So today's day 6. If you've missed days 1 to 5, we're still happy you're here, but go back and catch the other days so you kind of get an idea where we are. So yesterday was, I thought, a really great day. I loved, if you've followed us or been with us for any amount of time, you know that I am all about journaling, keeping track of our habits. And I love paper and I love pens. That is my weakness. And so just quickly here before we get started, yesterday we talked about, let me see what he called it. Yes, I have it highlighted. Oh, yes. He called it a commitment device, right? And this was your homework from yesterday, was you were to think about what you want to use as your commitment device. He talked about yesterday, and I loved this part. He talked about Benjamin Franklin and how he actually liked to habit journal. Now, he probably didn't call that necessarily that, but that's what he did. And so he had 13 virtues that he wanted to cultivate in his life. And so he made this tool to make them measurable and maintainable. And so one of the things that he wanted to see in his life was temperance. And so he tracked those things, right? And anyway, I just love that piece. I think that is so great. Oh, and here's the part that I really loved. He said he admitted himself that he never perfected all of those 13 virtues, but this is what he says. He said, yet, he says he fell short, but by this endeavor, he became a happier and better man than he otherwise would have been if he had not attempted it. So that's the thing, right? This isn't that we're going to get this perfect or that we're going to get this the first time round, right? It doesn't happen like that, but you got to start. You got to start somewhere. You got to be committed to it ahead of time, right? And I wanted to read something to you. I'm getting sidetracked here. Hold on. But this is where we are, so I'm going to jump into it. This is the why, right? You have to, most importantly, is you have your why as to why you're doing this, right? We talked about that it matters, right? It really has to matter. But I wanted to read this to you. This is a little poem that when I found, I just absolutely loved. And actually, I shared it on a video, I think on my YouTube channel, maybe a month or so ago. And my husband reminded me about it this morning. And this is the why. And this little poem, it's really short. It's called Autobiography in 5 Short Chapters. Okay, let me just read it real quick for you. I walk down the street. There is a deep hole in the sidewalk. I fall in. I am lost. I am helpless. It isn't my fault. It takes forever to find a way out. Chapter 2. I walk down the same street. There is a deep hole in the sidewalk. I still don't see it. I fall in again. I can't believe I am in the same place. It isn't my fault. It still takes a long time to get out. Chapter 3. I walk down the same street. There is a deep hole in the sidewalk. I see it there. I still fall in. It's habit. It's my fault. I know where I am. I get out immediately. Chapter 4. I walk down the same street. There is a deep hole in the sidewalk. I walk around it. Chapter 5. I walk down a different street. Isn't that an amazing little poem? And that's why we're doing this challenge, right? Because we all need tools that will help us to walk down a different street, right? Some of us that are not super young, we're not super old either, but we've been around a few mountains before, right? We've been down a few streets, so to speak. And you know what? We just don't want to anymore. But just wanting to is not enough. It's not. I wish it was, but it's not. So we need tools that are going to help us. And this challenge is one of the tools. And that's why we're doing it with you guys, inviting you to do it with us. And hopefully your life will be impacted and changed just like ours has and alongside us. So day 5 was about taking inventory, right, of the new habits that we want to start implementing. And again, your homework was to decide what you want to use. I have what I'm using as an option for you guys, and I'm not going to talk about it today, hopefully, but it's available to you. So if you're interested in it, put your email in the comments if you want, and we will email this to you. It's a PDF file, so you've got to print it off. And in previous videos, I did talk more about how to use it, and I don't want to do it today. If you need more instruction on what to do with it, it's in prior videos. So that was your homework for yesterday. And if you're willing, I would love, if you are catching this live or even on the replay, to throw it in the comments and just say, hey, yours maybe doesn't work for you, but what did you find something different that was going to help you track your habits? Okay, so we talked about that. Let me see what else I highlighted that I wanted to mention. Oh, who remembers our habits are to be 3M? What are the 3 M's? Oh, let's see if I can remember them off the top of my head. Measurable, maintainable. There's always that one M I forget. Meaningful. Oh my goodness. Okay. Our habits are to be 3M: measurable, meaningful, maintainable. That's sort of the guideline, right? For any habit, right? It needs to be measurable, meaningful, maintainable. 3M. I think that was it. Yeah. So, and if you still haven't figured out your commitment device, if you didn't do it yesterday, you can still do it today. It's not too late. Okay. So day 6, let's jump right in. Today is called Stack the Habit. And our scripture reference for today is Exodus chapter 30, verse 7. And it says, burn fragrant incense on the altar every morning. 100 years ago, only 7% of Americans brushed their teeth. Okay, wait a minute. 100 years ago, only 7% of Americans brushed their teeth. That's gross. Okay, when the United States started drafting recruits for World War I, so many soldiers had rotting teeth that poor dental hygiene posed a national security risk. Who knew? That raises the question, how did toothbrushing become a national habit? Before answering that question, let me double back to the basal ganglia. Remember that part of the brain? It's the part of the brain that stores recurrent patterns and it recalls repeated actions. It's the way we get okay, there we go. Sorry. It's the way we get from the bedroom to the bathroom in the middle of the night. For that matter, it's the way we drive 2-ton vehicles in 10-foot lanes traveling 70 miles per hour. Of course, it was very different the first time you tried to navigate a new space in the dark, wasn't it? Instead of finding the bathroom, you probably found the door with your forehead or the coffee table with your shin. That said, you eventually got so good at repeated routines that you could do them with your eyes closed. My favorite example, Michael Jordan shooting a free throw with his eyes closed against the Denver Nuggets during the 1991 NBA season. Yes, he made it. What does that have to do with brushing your teeth? In 1929, a toothpaste company called Pepsodent launched a marketing campaign that would transform the habits of a nation. Within a few years, more than half the American population were brushing their teeth daily. I know, still gross, that almost half were not. But that represents one of the most significant statistical shifts in daily habits ever. The genius behind that campaign was an advertiser named Claude Hopkins, and the key was creating a cue. While researching dental textbooks, Hopkins took note of the plaque that covers our teeth. Hopkins called it film, and he turned it into a prompt. Just run your tongue across your teeth, read one Pepsodent ad. You'll feel a film. That's what makes your teeth look off color and invites decay. Along with creating a cue, Hopkins also created a craving. The secret ingredients in Pepsodent were citric acid and a dash of mint oil. That combination of chemicals created a tingling sensation on the tongue that people equated with clean teeth. The tingling sensation was the prize. Remember the habit cycle, the 3-step process whereby habits are formed? 1, a prompt activates an automatic response. 2, a pattern is put on repeat. 3, a prize functions as a dangling carrot. In order to make or break a habit, you have to identify the prompt, interrupt the pattern, and imagine the prize. Intentionally or not, Claude Hopkins managed to do all 3 with Pepsodent. The prompt was getting people to run their tongues over their teeth, The prize was the tingling sensation after brushing. The pattern was taking a few minutes to brush before bed, then rinse and repeat the next morning. The tingling sensation caused by toothbrushing is only a century old, but leveraging the five senses in habit formation is as old as frankincense. Did you know that 10 chapters in the book of Exodus are devoted to the aesthetics of the tabernacle, right down to the color of the curtains, the feng shui of the furniture, and a precise prescription for incense? The devil isn't in the details. God is. The question, of course, is why? Before I answer that question, let me share one of my favorite studies. Freshly popped popcorn contains a complete mixture of 23 odor compounds. Wow. When the smell of popcorn floods a movie theater, it does more than make you hungry. It enhances your ability to recall memories. Simply put, the smell of popcorn is a memory stimulant. Why do I love that study so much? Because National Community Church has met in movie theaters for 25 years. Praise the Lord and pass the popcorn. That was the headline of an article that was written about us during our early days as a church, and it has become one of our mantras. The smell of popcorn is our incense at NCC. For moviegoers, the smell of popcorn triggers opening trailers. When I smell popcorn, it cues worship. That's great, eh? If these memory studies are accurate, our congregants might have the best sermon recall in the country. Why did God give the priests a precise prescription for incense in the tabernacle? For the same reason companies spend millions of dollars creating a unique scent to prompt your olfactory nerves. Can you say Cinnabon? That scent triggers salivation, even in the most sanctified among us. God was habit stacking, using a unique scent to trigger worship recall. And it was as regular a routine as toothbrushing is for us. Aaron must burn fragrant incense on the altar every morning when he tends the lamps. He must burn incense again when he lights the lamps at twilight. So incense will burn regularly before the Lord for the generations to come. Every time the people approached the place of worship, the smell of incense evoked memories of worship. Incense was their cue, their call to worship. And that's the tip of the iceberg. It's why they wore tassels called, Nancy, what were they called? Tzitzit? Am I saying that right? Those tassels weren't fashion statements. They were physical prompts to help them remember the commandments. It's why they hung, oh my goodness, mezuzahs? I don't think I'm saying that right. Ritual reminders on their doorposts. Those aren't just ancient rituals or silly superstitions. They're straight genius. God was helping his people form habits. How? By creating prompts out of daily routines. One of the best ways to create new prompts is by leveraging bedtime. What is the last thing you do every day? Instead of consuming social media, close your eyes and confess your sin. Instead of counting sheep, count your blessings. What is the first thing you do when you get up in the morning? Here's an idea. Kneel next to your bed for a few minutes during this 30-day challenge. Physical posture is a powerful prompt. Your physical posture affects your heart posture and vice versa. When you kneel and pray, it sets the tone for the rest of the day. All this is easier said than done. So let me double back to the idea of craving. You can discipline yourself for a season, but lasting change needs to happen from the inside out. How? By changing your cravings, by rewriting the rewards, by renewing your mind. Until you make the unconscious conscious, said Carl Jung, It will direct your life, and you will call it fate. According to molecular physiologist Stephen Smith, there are more than 125 trillion synapses in the cerebral cortex. That's roughly equal to the number of stars in 12,000 or 1,250 Milky Way galaxies. Each synaptic gap measures less than a thousandth of a millimeter. When it comes to habit formation, that microscopic gap is where the magic happens. It's so small, by the way, that a mustard seed of faith looms large. Why are habits so hard to make and break? The short answer is dopamine. It's one of 7 small molecule neurotransmitters that deliver chemical messages between nerve cells. Dopamine is often referred to as the feel-good neurotransmitter, and it trains our brains to seek out pleasurable experiences while avoiding unpleasant ones. It also plays a key role in planning by helping us predict the impact of everyday activities. You're probably 99.9% unaware of dopamine release, said neuroscientist Reid Montague, but you're probably 99.9% driven by the information and emotions that it conveys to other parts of the brain. I know that sounds complicated, and it is, but that little fact gives me an extra measure of grace when I don't understand why people act the way they do. Of course, the same goes for me. I do not understand what I do, said the Apostle Paul. For what I want to do, I don't do. But what I hate, I do. There are many mysteries in the universe, but the greatest mystery may be the 4 pounds of gray matter housed within the human cranium. That's where memories are stored, dreams are conceived, and habits are formed. That's also where the Holy Spirit does his best work. Just as he hovers over all creation, he resides within the trillions of synapses that crisscross your cerebral cortex. He sanctifies our amygdala with stirrings. He consecrates our basal ganglia with promptings. Delight yourself in the Lord, said the psalmist, and he will give you the desires of your heart. At the risk of oversimplifying something that is mystical, we could say that God alters our neurochemistry by conceiving new desires within us. Let's try to incarnate this idea. How do I make it a habit? Stack the habit. Many years ago, we did a little experiment at National Community Church. We called it an experiment because we did it during the season called Lent. At 7:14 every morning, we hit our knees no matter where we were. The most memorable moment for me was kneeling at gate D8 in the Cleveland airport. Did it feel a little awkward? Absolutely. But I didn't want to break my streak. A little pride died as I knelt in that waiting area. And that's not just a good thing, that's a God thing. If you're going to interrupt the pattern, you have to experiment with different prompts. How? You leverage your regular routines by habit stacking. Habit stacking is coupling habits that are hard to form with things that we do normally and naturally. My office is right above the coffee house that we own and operate. So I start my day with a small latte, 2 shots of espresso. Why? The Holy Spirit plus caffeine equals awesome. That latte is my prompt to do my daily Bible reading plan. The prize is caffeine, which in my experience makes the Bible read even better. One key to stacking your habits is reverse engineering your daily routines and finding ways to steward them. Turn your commute into a classroom by listening to audiobooks. Instead of couch surfing, exercise while you watch TV. You can even leverage your bathroom time. How? Put a book in there. Okay, no more to say about that. No more comments about that. Anyone can read a book a month that way. And some of you have more potential than that. Oh dear. Did you know that your body is 2/3 water? You are Venice with all of its waterways. Your brain is 73% water. Your lungs are 83% water. Your muscles are 79% water. Even your bones are 31% water. Make no bones about it. Water is critical to your overall health. It flushes out impurities, enhances your immune system, and it is the conduit that carries electrical currents across your synapses. Did you know that 4/5 of us are dehydrated every day? And that's people who have access to clean water via pipes that deliver it directly to your home. The average adult produces 1.5 quarts of urine daily, and we lose another 1.5 quarts through your skin. My point, fill up your water bottle when you go to the bathroom. And don't go to the bathroom again until you drink that water bottle. When you sit down in the bathroom, instead of mindlessly scrolling on your phone, pick up that book and start reading. It's a simple way of leveraging something that you do every day. Stack the habit. All right, that is day 6, stack the habit. This is actually something that I've been working on for a bit of time already. And you know what? It works. It really does. So you've got to look at, like for example, the coffee thing. For me, I'm not a big coffee drinker, but I do like 1 cup a day, but it could actually be tea for me. But there's something about that warm cup in the morning, and it just sort of in my brain, it represents sitting and spending that time, either reading or praying or something. It's like it just has become that pattern, that habit. So those two things go together for me, right? And just like he brought up the bathroom one, right? But it's true, right? We need to look at things that we're already doing. Like for me, when I had the crochet business, you can't multitask a whole lot with crocheting, right? Because you're sitting. But I did not allow myself to watch TV unless I was crocheting. So I did that for a while. Then I decided that would become my training ground, right? So I listened to hours and hours of teaching, Bible teaching. That's stacking habits, right? Doing multiple things at the same time, right? He mentioned if you have a drive to go to work, right? Maybe pop in a teaching tape then, if that's one of your goals, if that's a habit that you want to create, right? You decide the habits, but see, he talked about taking inventory, right, of those habits and see what you can habit stack with other ones, right? As you're working out, right? If you decide that working out or going for a walk or whatever is going to be a part of your routine. Oh, I really shouldn't have fell asleep. Oh dear. You're going to stack it with something else that you want to do, right? So anyway, that was a good day today. I enjoyed it. And it is true. It works. I've already, it's not perfect, but I have started implementing this already. So thank you so much for joining us today live. And again, if you're watching the replay, we love you guys. And I am praying for you all that are on the challenge with me. And if this is your first day getting on the challenge here, make sure you go back and watch days 1 to 5 because they sort of build on each other every day. And those are available on the website there. I see Gary has it listed, so that's good. All right. And again, I really, really, really am interested in hearing what you guys have decided to do as your, what was the term that he used? Commitment device. That's it. What have you decided to use? I really, really am curious. And if you don't want to share it in the comments, drop me a message. some of you are already in communication with us. So yeah, drop me a text or a message or an email, something. I am just curious what you've discovered works for you. Maybe you haven't discovered it yet. But if you have, I would love to hear. So thank you again. We will see you guys tomorrow, bright and early, 8 o'clock for day 7. Have a great day, everybody.